Hello, Liverpool fans. Welcome to the Liverpool Report, your go-to source for the latest news, match updates, and transfer stories straight from Anfield. Don't miss out on any of the action. Hit that subscribe button now and stay in the loop with all things Reds. It takes more than a two-man team to win the Premier League title. As Liverpool close in on domestic football's big pot, there can be no doubt as to the twin pillars propping up the charge to the top. At the back, Virgil van Dijk, and up front, Mo Salah. When you are around full-time professional football, people routinely ask who you fancy to finish on top of the pile, and the response from autumn time has always been the same. Keep that pair fit, and the Reds will be home and hosed. Without either for a significant length of time, the self-assuredness of any team would take a hit. In fact, that point has already been proven. Jordan Pickford's desperate challenge on the Dutch defender saw to that a few years ago. Eventually, the absences of top players seep into results. Nevertheless, the back of this campaign has been broken. Arsenal, suffering from a raft of injuries, have fallen by the wayside. Others were never seriously in contention. Chelsea, still an undercurrent of chaos. And, judging from their display at Villa last week, are way too open defensively to mount any challenge. Nottingham Forest, capable but limited, have been third in the standings for some time. All power to Nuno Espirito Santo. But the weight of pressure has finally told upon Manchester City, fissures turning into cracks. So, this season's isn't a vintage competition. However, two men alone cannot make up a team. One man who appears to go under the radar, but who is becoming increasingly important to Arne Slot, is Dominik Szoboszlai. If anyone has stepped up to the plate during the past few months, it's been him. He gives this Liverpool side real energy and drive from midfield. He pops up in spaces with his late runs that make a difference, and he's one of the best out there at doing it. The Hungarian international is given the platform by Ryan Gravenberch. At this point, it's interesting to note that Slot knew the 22-year-old defensive midfielder because of their shared time in Holland. The youngster started his career playing in a deep-lying role, but as he grew up, he began being moved about. At this point, Liverpool's boss needs a name check. It's well established that the Reds were looking for a number 6, as people today may baffle you with. The club pursued Martin Zubimendi, lodging a £60 million offer for the Real Sociedad man. Whether Slot turned up at Anfield and put the block on that, saying, "Save your money," we'll never know. The narrative has been that the Spaniard turned the club down, but, according to a contact of mine in the Netherlands, the Reds boss will have known about Gravenberch. He has maintained him in that position, and both he and his midfield partner Szoboszlai have flourished. The blend is similar to that which Chelsea enjoyed when Claude Makélélé did all the dirty work for Frank Lampard a couple of decades ago. There's no way that the England international would have ended his career as that club's all-time leading goalscorer, were it not for others plugging gaps when he strode forward. And if there's one area Szoboszlai may look to improve next term, it's in his goals output. So far, his career has been characterized by a 1 in 5 strike rate. There is no reason why, given the timing of his runs, that should not be improved. After all, he's still just 24 years old. Time is on his side. If there has been one criticism, it's that the goals have not been shared around. The weight has been on Salah's shoulders. Luis Diaz, 10 Diogo Jota, 5 and Darwin Núñez 4 can hardly be described as prolific. Add a regular flow of goals to Szoboszlai's game, and his contribution to the Merseysiders' cause may start grabbing the attention it should. Liverpool have a goalkeeping conundrum to solve after Giorgi Mamardashvili's struggles at Valencia. The Reds signed Mamardashvili in a £29 million deal last summer. He was just one of 2 signings they made in 2024, presumed to be a replacement for Kawimin Kelleher and a long-term successor to Alisson Becker. The highly rated Georgia international was expected to officially join up with Arne Slot's side at the end of the current season, after 4 years with Valencia. However, Mamardashvili's concerning form this season may change those plans. After being named the world's 7th best goalkeeper at the Ballon d'Or Gala for 2023-24, the 24-year-old's performances have fallen off a cliff. He has the second lowest save percentage of any goalkeeper in La Liga, 61.5%. the fourth most goals conceded per 90 minutes, 1.60, and has conceded 2.6 more than expected, the seventh worst total. He has also made 2 errors leading to goals, a number just 6 goalkeepers in Spain's top flight have reached. Mamardashvili's struggles can best be summed up by the fact that he conceded 12 goals in 2 games against Barcelona in as many weeks. According to the Mail, sources in Spain hold contrasting thoughts on his campaign. There is an acknowledgement that his performances have declined to a disappointing degree, but one observer still believes Liverpool underpaid for a player who could end up being Alisson's successor for the next decade. Mamardashvili has not been helped by Valencia's lackluster season, with a porous defence in front of him making it a challenging environment for the shot stopper to shine. They are currently in the relegation zone in 18th place, 1 point adrift of safety with 13 games left to play. Still, Mamardashvili's form is in direct contrast to that of Kelleher's this season for the Premier League leaders, having conceded just 15 goals in his 17 appearances in the absence of first-choice Alisson. Justifying the Irishman's exit this summer is becoming more difficult. He has also saved 75.9% of the shots he has faced, stepping up to the plate when called into action by keeping 3 clean sheets in 9 of his Premier League outings. Based on his contributions, it will make little sense to offload the goalkeeper, as was expected last summer. Therefore, Liverpool may need to rethink their initial plan. Alisson is set to stay on as number 1 for at least another year with his contract, which expires in 2026, having a 1-year extension option. Kelleher, whose deal is also up in the summer of 2026, reportedly does not want to sign new terms at Anfield amid interest from Newcastle and Chelsea. Should Liverpool decide to cash in on him now while they have the chance, that would allow Mamardashvili to return and learn the ropes from Alisson throughout the 2025-26 season, honing his skills in preparation for taking the mantle. But if Kelleher and Mamardashvili's respective seasons have convinced Liverpool bosses to make a U-turn, the latter could be loaned out for another season, presenting Kelleher with the chance to make the position his own. Regardless of what they decide, Liverpool are in the fortunate position of having 2 promising options for the future, while Alisson is far from nearing a goalkeeper's extended expiration date, aged 32. Liverpool have enjoyed a stunning first season under Arne Slot. The Dutchman replaced Jurgen Klopp last summer after leaving Feyenoord and could end his debut campaign with plenty of silverware. The Reds are on the verge of claiming this season's Premier League title, while they also have a place in the Carabao Cup final. Liverpool, of course, are still in the Champions League and will take on French giants Paris Saint-Germain in the next round. And with no game this weekend, Slot's side have had plenty of time to prepare for that game. It comes after an unrecognised star has finally earned praise for Liverpool's title tilt. Take a look at all of the latest news from the red half of Merseyside. Gary Neville has handed Liverpool a huge boost by claiming that the race for the Premier League title is over, and he believes the Reds laid down a marker with their win against Manchester City. Neville said, "When I think back to the perfect big game, away wins late on in a season that sometimes happened for us, that's how it happened. You were never in control, you didn't have possession, you felt like you were in control in a different way through not having possession, just through being so hard to beat. That performance will not go down in the history books as being the best game of football ever. But it really hit home to me that that was a title-winning performance because it was many different things in one." Alan Shearer has claimed that Liverpool's medical team deserve a pay rise after keeping the club's stars fit and firing throughout the campaign. He said, "Another feature of the season has been teams having lots of injuries. But Liverpool haven't. They've been a pretty steady ship. Yeah, they've had 1 or 2 injuries. But when you compare that to other teams who have been decimated, then Liverpool haven't really had that. For the vast majority of the season, they've kept their big hitters fit and in the team every single week for league games. You have to say, whatever they're doing in terms of their sports science, rest and recovery, they have to be given great credit for that. Their medical team behind the scenes will either be tapped up in the summer or they'll be in for a pay increase." Former Liverpool star Ryan Babel claims he regrets leaving Anfield. The Dutchman quit the club for Hoffenheim in 2011 after 4 years on Merseyside. Speaking on the Obi-Wan podcast, Babel said, My biggest regret is leaving Liverpool. I feel like I was not patient. I was frustrated, but I had it good. I had a 5-year contract. I had maybe 1.5 years left. I left at a time when Liverpool was changing. Fernando Torres left. Players left. A new manager came in. So maybe I could have started from zero again, showed myself, and maybe changed my Liverpool career.